today's videos we are going to take a look 10 dangerous animals that can kill themselves, so don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. Alright, let's start. Number 1. Reindeer. The widely domesticated deer species, the reindeer we see on the sleigh of Santa, are adorable with their antlers. Antlers are quite possibly the most stunning highlights of the well-evolved animal kingdom. They are in warm-blood creatures the quickest developing tissue and the solitary illustration of the recovery of a whole organ. Their antlers are sufficient enough to harm other animals. It's a real weapon that could cause death. During the breeding season, male deers battle with one another for female deers, killing one of the contenders. At times during this vigorous fight, the male clutch their antlers so tightly that it seems impossible to get back without external aid. If there is no one to help them, they stay strangled, unable to eat, drink, or get up, and deprived so much so that they finally end up dying. To worsen the situation, if they strangle themselves on ice and fall into the water through the broken ice, they eventually freeze to death. Something they become luck as people notice their issues on time and help them by cutting the antlers or shoot down the antlers to release the deers into freedom, all thanks to us. But there are more of them dealing with their hard dead tissues crowning. Argali. Number 2 are Argali. The Argali is a pretty popular wild sheep, mainly because of its size and twisted horns, with males weighing up to 720 pounds. The biggest wild sheep species by a considerable margin. That being said, though, the females tend to be way smaller, sometimes weighing less than half of their male counterparts. Apart from body size, male and female Argalis also differ in horn size, with the males usually having the upper hand. On average, a male's horns can grow to well over 6 feet and weigh about 50 pounds. The horns are important for both protection and fanning off other males during the mating season, usually between October and mid-January. And the fights can get pretty intense, to say the least. Two males can sometimes ram their heads together so hard that the impact can be heard from a mile away. Despite being such useful weapons for survival and reproduction, though, the horns can sometimes be the end of a male Argali thanks to their twisted nature. It's not uncommon for horns to grow into an Argali's face, which is basically a death sentence, either due to an infection or just making it impossible for the animal to feed. Additionally, the sheer size of the horns can also become a bit of a burden as an Argali grows old. And making it hard to forage. Snakes have been known to eat themselves in rare instances. According to scientists, snakes that eat other snakes may make their own tails for prey, and once they start swallowing their tails, they may not realize they are eating themselves. According to some experts, snakes only do this when they are really disturbed. However, if the snake is not assisted, it will die when its own digestive fluids begin to break down the snake's ingested tissues. A guy can be seen in this video administering hand sanitizer to the snake mouth, and this snake regurgitates its own tail. The validity of the assertion, however, cannot be verified. When faced with a scenario like this, it's best to seek the advice of professionals. An ancient symbol representing a serpent devouring its own tail is the Ouroboros. Through ancient Egyptian imagery and Greek magical tradition, the Ouroboros entered Western culture. It becomes a symbol in Gnosticism and Hermeticism, as well as, most importantly, alchemy. The Ouroboros is frequently understood as a metaphor for endless cyclic renewal or a life-death rebirth cycle. Snake skin shedding represents soul transmigration. The snake biting its own tail is a fertility metaphor in certain faiths. This snake tail is a phallic symbol, and the snake mouth is ionic. There is a pig with a piercing fangs. Exactly, you heard it right. There's a Barbaroussa that belongs to the family of pigs, has piercing fangs that might kill themselves when it's grown. Barbaroussas can get impaled by their own teeth. They have the most sought-after objects. Did the overgrown of the tooth destroy the animal? This wild pig has fangs that could pierce its own skull, and the canine's IgA male Barbarous are an evolutionary mystery. They never stop developing. They are too delicate to hurt or forage, and given time they end up twisting and and penetrating the skull of animal. In fact, Barbarus is definitely one of the most remarkable animals in the world. It is present only on remote forested island where it has grown. In isolation, it also has a lot of mystery about its life history and habits, and it's got the fangs called tusks, the unreal tusks. No other animal has something like it. The two upper canines penetrate through the skin of the snout and curl back to the forehead, gradually expanding, blacken the skull, killing the unfortunate Barbarus.